Hello, everyone, and welcome to Vegas Pulse, the story from the back of the house. That's right, we talk to people who can give us some insight of what's going on behind the scenes here in Las Vegas. I've been here 54 years. I've seen so much. But I brought a young lady to the table today to discuss some of this, who is a terrific singer, a beautiful lady. She's also a lawyer and so many other things, an entrepreneur, a beauty expert, so much more. Her name, Denise Fuleihan. And Denise is with us right now. Hello, Denise.
Thank you for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
Thank you for coming on Vegas
Yeah.
Pulse, stories from the back of the house.
Yeah.
You have a great track record here in Las Vegas. I've been watching your career over and over the years, and you
Right.
continually amaze me with all the good things you come up with, major showrooms, television shows, and so much.
Yeah.
But let's go back a little bit in time, and I have a question for you. First up, how long you lived in Las Vegas?
I've been here since 1990.
Okay, good.
So about 30 years.
35
Yeah,
years.
35 years.
How time flies.
Oh, it's crazy.
You're an excellent entertainer. You're a beautiful singer. You're a songwriter. So many people come to Las Vegas, Denise, trying to make it. As we both know, most of them don't. Why don't you give us some insight into what stops these, and I'm speaking of all entertainers, but specifically female entertainers, singers,
Yes.
songwriters like yourself.
Yes.
Let's go into that. What kind of stuff have you faced, and what do you say to the people who are coming to town?
So Vegas is a different animal to everywhere else. So I've been touring since I was 16, 17 years old. Been singing since I was a child, literal child, like since seven years old. I started touring with Ike and Tina Turner and their sons and Shaka Khan. I started very young at 17, touring the world. And then, they taught me a lot from that. So, I've been in Nashville, London, LA, and Vegas is a little bit different because Vegas really caters to cover bands, lounge, that lounge sound where it's kind of laid back, and tribute artists, which is fine. And if they want to do that, that's up to them. But to be a recording artist or to be an original artist, it's a whole different ballgame. So I would say to women that come here to Vegas, be ready to do covers, but also don't forget to write your own music. And, there are some venues that allow original music with covers where you can blend them together. You could do your own production shows. It doesn't always have to be in a lounge necessarily. You can four-wall it. You can promote it, sell tickets, just like the Composer's Room.
A lot of these ladies who come here to be singers fail.
Yeah, they do.
They
Yeah.
fail.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Why do you think they fail?
Because they give up too fast.
Ah.
So the key to success to anything is persistence. They have to keep going and they have to keep building no matter how many setbacks they encounter. This is life. But here it's very competitive. Vegas is extremely competitive, and if you don't, you got to have a look. You have to have a great voice and great material, a good production show if you're going to do a show. Original music, you got to be a great songwriter, a great singer. It all has to be there. So you really have to work on your craft.
What pitfalls do these people face when they come here? Are they going to get it rejected? Are they going to be treated poorly? Because a lot of that happens.
That I've experienced.
And
that
you've experienced.
quite
Tell us a little bit
bit.
about that.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. So unfortunately, this town is very superficial to some degree, and they just judge you by your exterior. Oh, she's beautiful. She's attractive. She's blonde, but I don't know if she can sing. And then when I start singing and open my mouth, their jaws on the floor.
Yeah.
Because I have a powerful voice. With a great range, but people, I think you have to really push hard to show people what you're about.
You find a lot of people out there trying to stop you from being successful?
Constantly.
You got a little story that
Yes.
you might want to
Okay.
share?
I'm not going to name names.
Oh, that's a good
right?
idea.
But you know,
Dig up some dirt with me,
yes,
Denise.
me and you, Ron, have had conversations about this. And that is when a venue kind of puts you, pigeonholed you into a box to be low key, like sing very, like a lounge. I'm not a lounge singer. I'm a touring artist. I've worked with some of the biggest artists in the world, legendary people since I was a teenager. And for them to put me in a box like that, I can't do it. So if that venue doesn't want me to express myself of who I am and my using the powerful voice that I have, then I move on.
This has happened to you.
I'll leave them in the dust, and I'll move on into venues that do want that. I'll create my if the showroom does, if that type of show doesn't exist, I'll create it. I'll trailblaze it.
Yeah.
I'll make it happen. And that's exactly
That's
what
why you were successful, Denise.
and that's what I'm doing. And I just signed a deal with Sony.
We're going to talk about that
We
in
are
just a little
definitely
bit.
going to talk about that. And
Yeah.
we just opened for Missing Persons in L.A. And now me and Dale Bazio and Missing Persons, we're going to do shows
That's
literally
wonderful.
together now.
A lot of people tell these newcomers to stay home. Don't try to come here.
Yeah.
Don't make
no?
it. Don't come to Vegas because they're going to be overwhelmed with so
Yeah.
much talent like yours and so many
Right,
others.
Right.
But there are those with no talent who think they do, and they come in,
Yeah.
and you've run into a few
Yes.
of those.
Oh my God. So many. And those people, what I tell them, instead of just rushing to get a gig, why don't you just take a step back and try to take vocal lessons or, take dance lessons or something to give you more of a presence, so you're not just jumping into it green because you're just going to make a bad name for yourself. Yeah.
We're going to be back in a
Okay.
minute. We're chatting with Denise Fuleihan. Am I saying that right?
Fuleihan.
Fuleihan?
Yeah.
Han, of course.
Han.
We want to get the
Han.
name right. Denise Fuleihan, one of the greatest singers here in Las Vegas, works so hard, has so many things going for her. But we're going to talk about a little bit more about these ladies and gentlemen coming to town and what happens to them if they don't succeed. Where do they go? What do they do next? And where's the best place to show your talent before you get to Las Vegas?
Yeah.
A lot more to talk about. We'll be right back after this. We're back on Vegas Pulse. Stories from the back of the house. I'm Ron Garrett. My guest, Denise Fuleihan. Denise, your track record is impeccable.
Yeah.
You've worked some of the nicest places here in Las Vegas. But let's get back to some of these young people coming to town trying to make it, and your advice for them, and get into the nitty gritty.
Okay, I am. So anybody that wants to come to Vegas, my suggestion is polish your act. Make sure you are stage ready. Not only your look, but your voice, your material. If you're going to sing originals, make sure you have good songs to present to the public. Promote your shows. Promotion is key. If usually a lot of these venues, if you don't bring customers, they don't want you back. So the ones that have a built-in audience are typically venues on the Strip, because those are all tourists that go to the Strip, to those venues. But if you're going to be in some of the smaller venues off of the Strip, you want to market, promote your shows, be camera ready, be stage ready, look wise. Your voice has to be impeccable because there's so much competition here.
You practice singing every day?
Almost, yeah.
Yeah, you
Every
have to
week.
keep
Yeah.
yourself
Oh, yeah.
in voice.
Yeah, and I make sure, because I have a very high range. I think it's like almost 5 octaves, but keeping that up is a challenge if you don't practice. So practice, I always say practice makes perfect.
You run your own business.
Yeah.
You make your own decisions. I see sometimes, and I follow you on Facebook, sometimes you're changing band members. Is it because they're not up to your standard, or is it because they said something stupid?
No. It's because of their availability. So, like, when we just did a show, so I did multiple shows in Los Angeles, like, over the last 2 months. I was at the Viper Room, which is a beautiful venue. That's Johnny Depp's old club. Beautiful venue. We loved it. And my bass player was there with us, but my lead guitar player is Steve Burchell, who plays for America's Got Talent, and he tours all over the world. couldn't make that because of his schedule. So he's touring out of the country. So I have to get fill-ins, to fill in.
Do you find, and this is a question you might not want to answer.
And the fill-in musicians are difficult.
They're difficult.
Yes. Oh my
Do you find club owners playing a little bit out of the box by trying to create a relationship with you? Has that happened to you?
You mean personally?
Yeah. They offer something and they want a personal return, if you know what I mean.
Let me think about that. Not that I know of.
It hasn't happened to you.
Well, maybe one of them.
Yeah, well, don't say who it is.
Yeah, no, I won't mention.
You can tell me later, okay?
Yeah, I'll tell you later. Yeah, sometimes. Like, I don't want to say his name, but.
No, we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But it's a person, and those things do happen to pretty girls.
Of course. Oh, yeah.
I mean, we talk about it, but it's kind of kept quiet. But I'm sure that men come on to you and
Every
offer
day.
you things in trade for a job or
Yeah.
something like that. That happens all the
Oh,
time.
I tell them where to go put it.
You know, when I was the entertainment director of the Sahara,
Oh, yeah.
they would offer me money to hire the act.
Oh, yeah.
At that time, we paid $5,000 a week for an act, 4 pieces.
Oh, wow.
And it was 2 shows a day, so it was
Demanding.
it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
But they would offer me money back
Right.
if I would hire them, and of course that's no.
Yeah, no kickbacks.
No kickbacks. I didn't need that. I was being paid good money to do what I do.
And it's against your contract.
So it's just something I don't do.
Right.
I don't do. But I'm sure people have offered you the world. If you do this, I'll take you here. I'll take you there.
Definitely.
Yeah. Now on Facebook sometimes, and I'm bringing this up because you talk about it. There's a picture of you and Mariah Carey.
Yes, darling.
Why are people think that's Photoshop?
That she's a cut.
It doesn't look like that
It's
to me.
crazy. I have so many pictures with her and I with all these different expressions. It's not a cutout. All what it shows on the picture itself is Caesar's Coliseum because that's where I met her. And I used to work with her agent, Stella Baliknikov, and UTA in Los Angeles for her TV show called Mariah's World. I wasn't working on the show, but we were discussing a new show that I wanted Mariah to be on, which is still in the process.
You were on Mariah Carey's team.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
And others
Yeah.
as well, some of the big names.
Jonathan came from Journey,
Super.
Shaka Khan, Marie Osmond, oh my God, Dionne Warwick, Tom Jones, Quincy Jones.
So you've been there.
Oh, I only play with the legends. When I came to Vegas and I'm dealing with independent musicians, it's a whole different thing.
Can you tell me why people have a hard time believing those stories? I mean, we know
I
they're
have
real.
pictures. I mean, I've showed
They're
them.
real.
Yeah, they're real. Yeah,
But
Mariah is real.
I hear from time to
Yeah.
time
Oh, yeah.
about this and that. You know, the
It's-
Photoshop thing, and
It's not Photoshop. That was her.
that was her. And it's easy to see that. You don't need to.
I could give you pictures to put on this episode.
Sure.
And you can air it.
Sure, and it's a great picture. Mariah is,
Yeah.
but Mariah is known to be hard to work with in so many ways. Did you find that to be a case?
Oh my God, I don't know if I could say that.
She's not listening.
Hopefully she won't watch this. Mariah, I love you. Trust me, you guys you're like my sister. She is very particular.
Mm-hmm.
Very. And she knows what she wants. Like me. we're a lot alike.
Yeah.
People call me a diva. She's she's a legend. She's been in the industry. She's so successful. You can't, it's hard to match her success.
What's your definition of diva?
Someone who knows what they want and they demand it.
Well, that's you.
They lay down the ground rules.
So it's okay to be called
Oh
a
yeah.
diva.
I'm definitely similar to that, but I'm more laid back, I think. But she
Well,
will
there's a
voice
lot
her
of
opinion.
oh yes, there's a lot of jealousies here in Las Vegas,
God.
and I'm sure you've come across a lot of that. So we're going to come back and take a break, and we're going to ask about that, and then we want to hear all about your upcoming
Yes.
shows and
Okay.
things that you're about to do
Yeah, I can't wait to tell you that.
in our final segment. So we'll be right back right here on Vegas Pulse, stories from the back of the house, with my guest, Denise Fuleihan, and I'm Ron Garrett. We'll be right back. We're back on Vegas Pulse with my guest, Denise Fuleihan. I got to get it right.
You got it right.
You know, is that an Egyptian name?
It is Arab.
It's Arab name.
Yes, my father is Jordanian from the Middle East.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, a little bit Sephardic Jewish, but more Arabic and Greek.
And some Egyptian as well, because I understood you were
I don't know about Egyptian. I think it's more Middle Eastern.
Middle Eastern.
Yeah, like Jordanian.
You look like one of the Kardashians.
I hear that every day.
You could be in that family. Has anyone ever mistaken you for one of the Kardashians?
Yes, I get asked that all the time. They used to say Kim. I don't know.
Definitely Kim. That's who I'm
my
speaking.
hair is more blonde, I think I look more like her.
Uh-huh.
But when I was working with their producers, I had texted Kim Kardashian on Facebook, and I told her everybody thinks how much we look alike. And then I think she was strolling my page on Facebook, and because she used to wear nothing but black hair, and then she started dyeing her hair blonde, and we looked identical. It was
You
crazy.
do. You have that look.
Yeah.
And that's a Mediterranean, Middle East.
Mediterranean.
Middle
Yeah.
East look.
Yeah, oh,
which
yeah.
is such a pretty look, by the way.
Yeah.
Some of the things you've got going on right now are amazing. Can you tell us what's in your future?
Yes. Okay. So I just signed a deal with Sony on a singles deal for my song Privacy. That is going to be in radio rotation, and I'm doing a music video for that song on Vivo, which is through the label, through Sony. And they have 20 million, viewers on or more, probably 100 million viewers at this point. And then I just opened for Missing Persons in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And so now her and me and my band will be like back to back. Like we're going to do different shows all over the country, where we're going to open for her, and kind of like House of Blues, like those type of venues. And then I'm also working with a guy from Warner Chappell, a good friend of mine who works with Jelly Roll, and he is hooking me up with a songwriter that writes for Jelly Roll. So I'm going out to Nashville to work with him and release.
So you got a lot on your plate
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
and then television, this TV show that I've been working on with Mariah and with Jonathan came from Journey. It's all about singer-songwriters. We are still working on that, and I have a meeting in Nashville with Dolly Parton's agent about that.
So you're quite busy.
I'm very busy, and I own a skincare line that's launching.
Right. You're also know law.
And I'm soon to be a lawyer in California.
Yeah, you're what do they call it? A legal assistant? What do they call the middle?
Like a paralegal.
Paralegal,
type of thing.
that's the word I was looking
but
for.
I did practice law here in Vegas as on my own cases, which I'm allowed to do without being licensed here, and it's pro se on high-profile federal litigation against banks for fraud.
Anybody in Vegas you want to put in jail, Denise?
No, but the city attorney's office reached out to me for assistance on their cases.
Did they?
John Kelleher with the city attorney's office and the criminal investigation department. Also, I assisted the federal FDIC, Sheila Baird, and a congressional panel in Congress had reached out to me also for help.
You make good money doing this. I know you have many other talents, like we just talked.
Yes.
Your law degree you're working on. You're a producer. You're a writer,
Television,
a songwriter,
music, yeah.
and all that.
Yes.
And that really works for you. You do so well with it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
We
happy
make
that
very good money doing that.
the question was, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, sorry.
Can you make a living just singing, or do you need to augment your income doing? Are you in real estate as well?
Yes, I'm a real estate broker.
A lawyer,
Real
a
estate
real
broker.
estate executive,
Company
a writer,
owner.
a producer. You got so
Oh,
many
yeah.
talents.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask, can you make enough money in Las Vegas just singing
You can
to make a living?
The only way you can, though, unfortunately, here in Vegas, is you have to do covers, lounges.
In other words, go do other people's music.
Yes, and I'm okay with that on some of the things, which you can make a couple thousand a month doing that, but I mean I make way more in real estate, a lot more than that. But because I'm an original artist, I want to be on tour, and that's where you make the big money.
When you go on tour.
Yes.
How do you create a tour like that? So many people say they're going to be on a tour, they're going to be on a cruise ship, they're going to do this and that.
booking
How do you put that together?
You need an agent, a good agent that has connections, and a promoting company like Live Nation. Live Nation, who runs the house and owns the House of Blues, they book tours all over the world. So you need to have like somebody like that.
Is there any entertainer in town you'd like to see leave town?
Leave town?
Yes. Does anybody want
Elvis. No. I'm
Elvis.
kidding.
Oh, he's left the building.
Oh
that's
my
for sure.
God. No. I can't think of anybody right now.
I'm sure you can when you get out to the
Yeah,
car. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, no,
I'm sure you
I've
can.
had so much jealousy with other entertainers out here who.
What are they jealous of? Your talent, I guess.
I don't like there's this comparison thing that goes on. And male or it doesn't matter if they're male or female. But I'm different. I'm not just your lounge act that's just, fighting to get those gigs. I'm an artist. I want to be
Yes.
on tour. I want to write my own music.
You're not just a singer.
Yeah.
You're not showing up to do somebody else's music.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do that.
When you do the composer showcase, you show your talent.
Yes. And it's all about your promotion on Spotify. It is not even about live shows. When you're an original artist, it's about can you go viral on Spotify or YouTube.
You've had some hit records.
Yeah. I worked with
Hit albums.
Me and Jonathan came from Journey. I had a song in the Hot 100 in 2020 for 8 weeks in 3 charts. I was on the same chart as Lady Gaga.
Can you tell me the worst experience you had in Las Vegas?
Oh my God.
Does anything come to mind?
Yes. Let me think about. I do want to answer that question. Yes.
Tell us about it.
Oh my God.
To the best of your ability,
Okay.
without getting us all put in jail. Let's try it.
A sound guy.
Sound guy.
Worked at one of the venues, and I'm very particular about sound. Just because I've been in arenas performing, like I was even on X Factor, the TV show, with Simon Cowell. And when the sound isn't right in some of these little or any venue, I don't care what it is, we get into it. And this one guy, he's like, "Well, you have X, Y. We're just thinking about getting rid of you because you're so particular." And I said, "You know what, MF." Let me tell you something. You don't even know who you're talking to.
That's what I want to hear.
I said, you know what? It's got to be this way. I've been all over the world, and you're in a lounge. You're in a small little thing. I said, you better learn how to do sound and be more respectful.
Did you get him fired? I think you did.
I think I did.
And I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Did he get fired?
Probably, yes.
Yeah, I thought he quit.
Yeah, because you're an important show. It's an important act.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm going to take a break right now. I'm going to come back and wrap this up.
Okay.
In case we forgot anything of your current, where you're going, your current
Yes.
performances.
Okay.
And we'll be right back after this word from our sponsors right here on Vegas Pulse. Stories from the back of the house. I could speak with you for hours, Denise. You know a lot about what's going on. Get under people's fingernails, like the Italians say, and see what's there. I appreciate you appearing on Vegas Pulse, Stories from the Back of the House. You've got some good ones. We could do so much more.
Yeah.
One more shot. Tell us what's going on with you, and that'll
Okay.
be our show.
Yes, so we have a lot of shows coming up at Pinky Ring. I'm working on a production show with Bruno Mars' father through another producer. And then possibly Old Red. I'm trying to get rebooked. She booked me in November last year from Nashville. And then I'm also working at Jelly Roll's new club, Goodnight
All right.
Nashville, in Nashville.
Are you going to England this year?
Yes, we're going to London to the Troubadour in
The Troubadour.
Chelsea. Yeah.
Yes. That's fantastic.
Yes.
Thank you so
Yes,
much,
so
Denise.
excited. Thank you.
I appreciate taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Coming out here. You live way out there in Summerlin.
Way out.
And here we are in the Green Valley,
In
essentially.
Green Valley, darling.
You know.
Yes.
You're terrific. I
you.
can't wait to see your next show.
Yes, I can't wait for you to come.
Thank you so much. And I want to do this again with you at another time. We got more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thank you for watching Vegas Pulse. Stories from the back of the house. My guest, Denise Fuleihan. And I'm Ron Garrett. We'll see you next week with Vegas Vaughn, a casino host who knows some stories about cash in suitcases. Wow. We'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.